Hi there, Kiwi Codger here, and welcome to episode 37 entitled Te Rauparaha, Escape South. This leads on from episode 34 and 36, so watch those first. Now, I'll be taking my story from the book King Pōtatau by Hurunui, and from other sources, and I'll pin a link below for those other sources. Te Rauparaha has been under siege at Te Arawi pā and has agreed to Te Rangatuatea's proposal of being allowed to escape south, never to return. The siege of Te Arawi has lasted some weeks. It is said that those who fled south straight after the battle of Te Kakara joined up with Te Pōtatau and made him their chief for the journey south. They would have reached the safety of Ngāti Tama country some time ago. The people released from Te Roto and Te Kawaupa after the battle, but before their fall, would also have headed south and are probably in the safety of Ngāti Tama country. In the accounts it also says that a number of Ngāti Toa, Akamapuia, Ngāti Koata, and Ngāti Rārua have gathered at the rendezvous point at Kiri Taheri. The Waikato forces in the Taharoa area have been scaled down, many returning to their homes, some remaining to colonise the conquered lands, and there are also some who remain and have a strong desire to see Te Rauparaha dead. These forces will be an ongoing threat to any escape plans. So now we come to the night when Te Rangituatea and Hiakai have organised the canoes for the escape. It is a still night. Te Rauparaha and Te Rangihaeata set off from Te Arawi with their entire retinue. Their immediate destination is Te Rua Point, where Te Rauparaha has his cave. Now, this is a famous cave and is described by Hurunui as follows. It was inaccessible except by a rope ladder which was drawn up when the cave was occupied by the Ngāti Toa leader. It had been made very comfortable. The walls were lined with woven panels on a wooden frame, and the floor was covered with finely woven sleeping mats. A plentiful supply of preserved food was stored and water was collected. Now, Pei's account of things can be quite romantic, and the actual truth being this photo, taken in 1906, of what is purported to be the same thing. Te Rauparaha will stay here with a few of his wives and contemplates the future of his iwi. It's about this time that he decides that the eventual goal of any journey will be the Horowhenua area and Kapiti Island. The colonisation of Horowhenua will give him the land he needs. Kapiti Island will give him the interface for European shipping and, by extension, muskets. He realises with the losses sustained at Te Kakara that he'll need more manpower. He'll need to convince other friendly tribes to join him. Te Rangihaeata goes to Kiri Taheri, and when all preparations have been completed, they begin their journey south. The goal of this heke is to reach Ngāti Tama country where they'll be safe, and then move on to Te Atiawa country where they hope to be taken in. Now, Te Rangituatea, the Maniapoto chief, after having assessed the reaction of Waikato to the escape of Te Rauparaha, organises to meet with him again at his Tairua cave. It's a bizarre meeting, but once the air is cleared, Te Rangituatea advises Te Rauparaha of the route to take and the stratagems that Rangituatea has put in place to deflect those wanting to see Te Rauparaha dead. He supplies Te Rauparaha with a number of red cloaks. and spreads a story that a heavily armed Ngāpuhi war party is in the area wearing red cloaks. As Waikato have no muskets, Waikato engaging Ngāpuhi would be extremely dangerous. As the heke passes Tairua, Te Rauparaha and his retinue join the others. The ploy of the red cloaks is a huge success, and although they are spotted by Waikato warriors, there's no engagement. The luck that will follow Te Rauparaha throughout his life holds. His heke makes it to the south side of the Mokau River. They are exhausted and set up camp. Now, the Mokau River is the border between Ngāti Maniapoto and Ngāti Tama country. However, the area between the Mokau and the Mohakatino River is considered the buffer zone, so Te Rauparaha's safety is still marginal. He observes on the north side of the river a Ngāti Maniapoto war party, showing a great deal of interest in them. As night falls, Te Rauparaha has many fires lit, and as people spend the early evening visiting different fires so as to give the impression that their numbers are far more than they actually are. This ruse works a treat, and the Ngāti Maniapoto never cross the river. This heke becomes known as Te Heke Tahu Tahu Ahi, the refugees who lit fires. Before dawn, Te Rauparaha decamps and crosses the Mohakatino River at dawn. In another hour, they reach the safety of Te Kawaupa and are reunited with many of their tribe. They'll rest here for a few days. Maro Rauparaha's wife, hears again of her husband's heroic death. Each telling eases her pain. They set off again. A day's journey brings them to Te Puoho's large pa at Puki Arohare, where again many of the earlier refugees are waiting. There is great rejoicing. They'll stay here while Te Rauparaha and his chiefs proceed further south to negotiate with Te Ati Awa and Ngāti Mutanga for a place to live for the next year. Whilst the party is away, Te Rauparaha's wife, Akau, gives birth to a son who will play a prominent part in New Zealand history. He'll be known as Tamihana Te Rauparaha. The negotiating party returns. The Ngāti Mutanga reluctantly agree to host the 1,500 refugees and give them their pa at Te Kakara. Here there are fertile fields to grow crops for the next phase of their journey. Across the plains of Motunui is the formidable pa Te Koki. This area will feature in a future episode. The Ngāti Maniapoto version of this exodus has Te Rangatuatea of Ngāti Maniapoto being the originator of the Red Cloak story. The Ngāti Toa version, which I shall leave a link to below, has Te Rauparaha designing the strategy. There are many other incidents related in various versions. Feel free to follow the links below to make up your own mind as to what may have happened. For now, though, we'll leave Te Rauparaha settling the remnants of his Ngāti Toa and refugees from other friendly tribes into their new home at Te Kakara. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to subscribe, please do so and give it a like. Although, honestly, I don't give red sales. Anyway, that's it for now, and take it easy and stay safe out there.